that lowered the commission in your market, you'd win everybody.
Interesting. Easy.
I said something earlier. I said the best thing that's ever happened to the industries that I'm not in is that I'm not in them. They're so easy. I mean, think about what was your we talked how many months ago?
About
4 or 5.
And what's happened to the business? So like if I'm able to do that, imagine if I was in it. And so like for me, it's like, okay, we're trying to recruit agents and we're getting the top of the funnel, but they're not converting their leads. And I'm like, well, how much commission are you taking? 30 to 40%? I'm like, so take 10.
So incentivize.
If you can create enough demand and your issue is supply because you're charging the same percentage as everybody else, lower the fucking commission.
Gotcha.
That's why Walmart put Kmart out of business, because you can buy toothpicks for 10 cents less.
Principal substitution.
No, both. It's Uber. You need both. It's a two-way marketplace. Dominate the leads, but if you're not fulfilling every lead, you need to lower the commissions.
Got it.
Right? Let's play it out. Cool, let's play it out. Are you fulfilling every lead?
No, nobody could.
Let me ask you a question. Are you not fulfilling the leads because you don't have the horses to fulfill the lead, or the horses aren't good enough to convert?
No, the market doesn't allow it to happen. There's been a ton of those companies over the years that went out at 2%, and they lost. They spent a ton of money on marketing, and they lost because the industry is not ready for that. And those agents...
Because the broker can't make money.
What's that?
If you lower the commission, you can't make money and provide leads. And the agents aren't good at getting leads.
Here's the good news.
You can create a balance.
Here's the good news. I totally, fully understand. It just becomes how much margin you want to make. How much margin do you make in your business? Tell me.
25%.
Good. I'm willing to make 3. Now what? Because I want to capture the market and I know how to get the leads.
You dominate the market, doesn't really give a
The end. Let's just play out business. I understand, but I don't know who fucking executed. There's a reason everybody told me I couldn't do what you guys just told me in the liquor business and the marketing business, and I did it. Because I know how to create the leads, and I'm willing to work on far less margin for a decade to kill everybody in my way. If you're making 25%, you can't make money, they're making 25%. No, you don't. No, you don't. You just have to be willing to not live as fancy as a lifestyle as everybody at this table. No, it's not. If you're making 25% margin, it means that I can make 12.
But that's what she's making as owners. That's not net. That's not net.
And by the way, if she said 6, ready for this? If she said 6 was her net, I'd work at 2.
Right.
The reason people don't build big businesses is they want to spend too much money personally along the way.
But Redfin does it, and they don't kill it.
I don't know who that is, but
They're a big player, but they charge less. They pay a fee to their brokers, like $500 or whatever it is, but they don't kill it.
are they a
Yeah, but
public
that's
or
not
private
what
company?
he's saying. He's saying give the agent more commission, not like a Redfin.
It's like 90 or 100% commissions you pay for your desk. I'm in commercial real estate, so I don't...
It's a cap structure. It's a cap structure.
Here's a good thing. Here's a good thing. This is why, what's great about business is there's only 13 to 27 things that are tried and true. If a business makes 6% net, they're making 25. 6. 6. Stick with me. 6.
That's probably the norm.
Cool. I'll make 2. And by the way, their business quadrupled on one piece of advice I gave them for 13 minutes at an airport hotel. I'm so much better at the top of the funnel than anybody else, and I'm willing to work on less margin. Now explain to me. So what I'm telling you is more agents. There's a reason that if I took over CEO of their company with 10x in the next 3 years, I would lower the margin, I would explode the market share, I would put pressure on all the competitors by having a different commission base, and the math would work.
Leverage.
The reason people spend a lot of money on marketing and lose is because all these VC-backed internet companies just think spending more money works. You have to make the money actually fucking work.
And having it done.
Whatever it is, Converse is bigger than your fucking shoe store. Do you know what I mean?
you say Converse or Compass?
Compass. He's talking about Compass.
They're massively overfunded, but they have a lot of money. But if they execute, they become Amazon. And if they don't, they become Zynga. This is execution. I gave them a tactic, then they executed it. So I'm going to say it again. The thing that's very clear to me is if you want to go from, what's your top line revenue? What?
8 million.
If you want to go from 8 million to fucking 80 million, cut the fucking commission. I mean, guys, I've operated 2 businesses. My dad and I's liquor store and Vaynermedia. They were the 2 fastest growing businesses in their industries. Now you can't say I got lucky. The end.
And you have to
I'm not one of the most followed people by accident. There are tried and true things. Disproportionately make as little as possible and bring the most value to the end consumer, who in this angle is the broker. You're in a B2B play there, right? And know what you're doing, and then do that in a way where you're not spending your dollars in a way at home.
Leverage
My dad spent so little money at home that he was able to give everything away at cost. Because if you have no home, if you're P&L at home, we went on one fucking family vacation.
Nobody believes it.
Nope.
Right?
Dad, nobody believes anything.
It's so far.
One fucking vacation. All of a sudden, your business can run on 3 points instead of 6 points if you're willing to not have a Lambo.
The long-term problem, though, is building a culture that's based on the reliance on leads. If your sales team's culture is built on being fed leads, it's never going to be able to sustain long term. Especially when the market goes down.
Of course not, which is why you have to build brand.
They're making more money. They're going to be hungrier to fucking do more business. So leverage that.
Or you amortize at massive scale. If you're built on sales, you scale the living fuck at it. That's why. Well, that's what That's it. That's the punchline. And you can scale it. If you think about supply of humans, you can scale it by putting pressure on the commissions by stealing everybody. You just take everybody. You know what else that does? If you actually took everybody in your 50 fucking mile radius, you'd also quadruple your top line because there is no competitors left because you took everybody. Guys, there's a reason that Amazon and Facebook and Walmart worked. It was the proper execution of the advice I'm giving you. Yes. And those times are as following. When Google ads are grossly underpriced, Amazon spent the most, and Jeff Bezos executed the best. Facebook is that now, and it will go away. In 6 years, I'll be sitting here and be like, that is not my advice, because there's no arbitrage on the attention. Got it?
15% This world sucks. I'm sorry. She executed and she collects the money. Sorry.
Now you know why my dad's not a public figure.
I'm talking about all the politicians.
I understand that Facebook is going to pour $1 billion into IGTV in the first quarter. They're going to pour $1 billion into building IGTV platform because it's dead. And Facebook, the Facebook stories are dead compared to Instagram. So they're revamping the system to put a lot of money into IGTV because that's what media is everything, especially in real estate right now. There's no more print, there's no more digital.
Is that a statement or what's the question? That's a statement?
Realign it to the original question. So leveraging that value proposition as a mode for scaling up.
There's no reason to guess.
Yeah.
I don't give a shit if Facebook's successful or not. If MySpace decides to be born for so the reason I was asking if that was a statement or question is if he asked me what I thought was happening was if he said to follow up, do you think we should all start getting ready for IGTV? I would say no, because the game is to react to what actually happened, not guess what's happening next. People are always like, Gary, what's next? I'm like, I don't fucking know. What I'm really, really, really good at is when I see it, I go all in.
So over the last 2 years, I've put out over 5,000 pieces of content. And now the strategy is certain content needs to live on certain platforms only. Is there a certain level that you have to get to be able to do that, so that you're not missing out on new followers finding the other content? Like, for example, I have a daily vlog and a weekly vlog and 2 podcasts. So we're looking at, does the weekly vlog only live on my website? Does the daily vlog only live on Instagram?
Why would you do that?
That's my question. That's what everyone's telling me that I should do. But my thought is that's lazy. Why wouldn't you post it everywhere?
Yeah, I think creating friction for the end user is a huge mistake. It's why I create
away from the product.
Yeah, why? If people want to listen to me while they're running in podcast form, I'm going to give you audio. If you want to read because you like reading, I'll give you LinkedIn and my website and Medium. If you like videos, so I think that you need to be. I think people should put out as much content as humanly possible in as many places as possible. As long as you can afford it.
But the exact same content. I mean, obviously native to the platform, but
to the best of your ability. I mean, look, I always talk about watch what I do, not what I say. Like, I have the same content and platforms, but there'll be nuanced differences. The copy, maybe the thumbnail. Got it?
Yeah.
Context matters.
Little 1-minute teasers. Go to Instagram to check out the full video.
Play it. But content is the gateway drug to every business opportunity.
Do you think TikTok has a use for real estate?
No, I think it's used too young. Unless you think 7 to 11-year-olds can influence the buyer decision, which I don't think they can. But I do think 7 to 14-year-old girls can dictate what a mom buys in shampoo. I think there's a crescendo moment with a child at a very young age, because moms don't want to get older, lean into friendship versus parenting. So I target a lot of 12, 13, 14-year-old girls to influence their moms, but not in a house. I don't think there's a single fucking person that's taking the 12-year-old's opinion on what neighborhood they're going to move into. Fair enough, but 12?
Which room do you want, Sally?
But a home decision, a 12-year-old, that's a big risk.
Could be related to schooling, but not to the actual
School district will play a role.
Like,
Look, I mean, but how much the 12-year-old is dictating the school district versus...
No, they don't give a shit about the school.
I always believe you market to the decision maker or the influencer of the decision